going on? Topic of this video is, do ye violence no man without cause? Alright, that's the topic of this. Look, I'm trying to show you at the same time, a lot of time when I just shoot off the top of the head certain scriptures, and I'm not quoting exactly from the Bible, I'm showing you at the same time. It's like, look, I know this much, and it's that much is committed to memory. You know what I'm saying? And it's applicable in all these different types of situations. All right, it's just they're windows into the heart of God. Okay, just windows into the heart of God. You know what I'm saying? And you just see through these metaphors and through these parables and through these situations and life experiences, this empirical knowledge as well. Do ye violence no man without cause? This comes from a scripture where Jesus, who sees the Roman, and the Roman comes up to him, and the Roman centurion. So I mean, I think a centurion means you're not just your common dude, you know, that gets told what to do. You're like a guy who's like, you're like a lieutenant, or you're like the foreman at a job scene. You're the guy who makes sure everyone's on task. You know what I'm saying? Or when something really bad goes down, you're the guy they come to ask what to do about it, basically. And he runs up to Jesus, and I think he says, "My daughter's sick." And, or is it, someone's sick. Anyway, you know, you can go into the Bible. You read it for yourself. It's in one of the Gospels. He says to Jesus, he says, yeah, my family member's sick. Let's put it that way. It could be his daughter, but I'm not sure if it's one of his soldiers or something. But anyway, you know, Jesus says to this soldier, or he says, all right, man. He's like, basically, take me to them. And then this guy says to him, he says, no, Lord, you just speak the words, and I know my servant shall be healed, I think is what he says. And then Jesus looks at this guy like all like, you know, with the eyes of approval, I'd say. And he says, not so much faith have I seen, no, not in all of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy just knew Jesus was who he says he was. He could heal. So just like he said, just like the centurion said, you speak it and it shall be done. It was done. And on the way out, Jesus just leaves the soldier with these words of wisdom. He did not say, hey, Mr. Soldier, lay down your sword, selleth all your stuff and give it to Joel Osteen. He didn't say that. He said, look, he said, all right, you know, go about your way. But obviously he could see into this soldier's soul. You know, this is something common about all people who, cops, criminals, mafia members, hitmen. They sometimes have to do things that aren't right. All right. So he left them with this warning. He said, do ye violence no man without cause. He didn't say, go become a Buddhist and don't do nothing to no one no how. He didn't say that, okay? This is a soldier. This is your policeman. This is your military man. This is your spy. This is everyone, dude. This is an all-inclusive statement. Anyone who's similar, you know what I'm saying, that has a job like that, where you're in a position of authority, okay? Do ye violence no man without cause. That does not mean make up some reason so then you provoked a cause. This means, look, if ain't nothing being done, man, don't do nothing. Leave it alone, okay? That's basically how I see it. Don't, or at least, if it isn't violence, if you don't need to use violence, don't use it. But if there is cause, and we all know these situations happen where someone oversteps the boundaries and oversteps the line, and then they got to get, you know, if they get taken down or out, they should have never live that way. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That goes out to the the men who are or women that try to attack people with knives, any kind of edge, even a stick, a car. A weapon is a weapon. That's living by the sword. When you live by taking by force, you live by the sword, okay? So if you don't comply, I'm going to take you to jail by force. You're a man who lives by forces, okay? And Jesus was well aware of this, and he wasn't against it. But he did leave the man, the centurion. So all you high-powered men, this is even more to you. And you judges who write the orders to these men, this is to you as well. Do not pervert thy judgment for reward, okay? These are all subjects addressed, and people just have forgot, or they've become unattached. And number 2, here we go. This goes out to all you crisis actors, false flagists, undercovers who that go and entrap people. And like I heard about the ATF setting up retarded people by giving them guns, then coming in and busting them. I mean, that's entrapment. And it's bogus. That's setting people up. That's patsying people. And Jesus says second to the soldier, to the centurion, to the Roman, to the pagan. He says, look, he says, and bear ye not false witness. When a cop shoots a guy because he think he has a gun, but he doesn't, and then he goes and sprinkles crack on the body. You know, David Chappelle made that joke, but I mean, that joke is pretty much true. Anytime anything bad happens, sprinkle some crack, it was drug related, it gets dismissed. I mean, everyone knows these stereotypes that are basically true. That is bearing ye false witness. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's better, and also, it says in the Bible, it says it's better for us to resolve issues without calling the police, without taking it to the judge. These people don't need us in there bogging down the system with every little offense, little complaint, when we can take care of it ourselves. I mean, to an extent, as long as it doesn't require violence. You know what I'm saying? And you can talk it out, you can resolve it. Hey, I owe you something. Here, take this instead. I don't have money. Just get it. You get it. You handle it between people, between the community. This is a better system. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't lead for the intrusiveness or the overstepping or oversizing of these institutions that really just end up becoming. It's just everyone's itchy triggers because just because, man, you just know it's like a system that never fixes the problem. It only treats the symptoms, but that yet it causes the cancer that it's fighting. And it's just a big beast devouring itself. It's like that whole how the Theosophists and the Lucifers and all these people like to worship the snake eating its own tail. This is it. This is the matrix. That's the system. It's the system that creates and devours itself. You know, basically, just to keep it going. It's weird like that, but this is why this should be put in remembrance, because it was written in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So, do ye violence no man without cause, and bear ye not false witness.